Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty interesting. Jack Vaiphei's idea he calls the theory of selective deafness. It's really a framework, a strategy maybe, for finding inner peace. And it all hinges on managing, well, external noise.
That's right. And when Vaiphei talks about noise, it's crucial to understand he doesn't just mean, loud sounds.
Right.
He means the constant flood of opinions, arguments, criticism, all that negativity that just bombards us.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And the core problem he identifies is that taking all this in, internalizing it, it just drains your energy. It leads to stress, anger, even self-doubt.
So our goal here today is to really unpack this theory, see it as maybe a kind of strategic defense against all that incoming negativity.
A defense mechanism, yeah. Let's start with his main analogy. It really grounds the whole thing.
Okay.
He uses the example of a deaf person.
Right, the deaf person analogy. So imagine you're standing right in front of someone who's deaf, and you just unleash, say, 5 minutes of insults, pure venom, harsh criticism. You're shouting it at them.
What happened?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing lands.
Yeah.
Because the channel, the spoken words, they're just not received.
Exactly. The negativity has no power in that interaction. Their peace isn't disturbed because the message simply doesn't enter their world.
So that's the blueprint thing.
That's the blueprint.
Yeah.
Developing this selective deafness. And Vaiphei is really clear here. This isn't about ignorance. It's not sticking your head in the sand.
Okay.
He calls it an active, intelligent, and conscious choice. It's filtering, not fleeing.
But, okay, how does that work in practice? Say you get a really nasty comment online or maybe a harsh email from a coworker. How is choosing not to receive it different from just denial?
That's a great question, and it's the key difference. Denial is kind of passive, right? You pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Selective deafness is active. You have to actually hear the noise or see the words. You acknowledge they exist, but then you consciously choose not to listen. You don't let the message penetrate your inner self. You don't receive it.
How do you do that?
The mechanism is reclassification, mentally. You immediately label that incoming information as just noise.
Like static.
Exactly, like static on a radio. Or maybe like hearing a language you don't understand. It's just sound waves or pixels on a screen, but they don't carry meaning for you.
So you're actively deciding, this doesn't reflect truth, this isn't relevant to me, and you just refuse to let it land, mentally.
Precisely. It's like putting up an instant mental firewall. You interrupt that pathway between just perceiving something and actually internalizing it, letting it affect you.
And the point is to save energy.
Yes. Save the energy you'd normally waste processing it, getting upset, thinking of a comeback.
Okay, so if we manage to do this rigorous mental sorting, what does Vaiphei say happens? What are the results, the outcomes?
Well, when you apply this filter effectively, the negativity just loses its power. It becomes impotent. And the source material highlights 3 main benefits, 3 outcomes.
Okay, what's the first one?
First, an insult doesn't need a reply.
Because you never truly received it in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the message was classified as noise, there's no obligation to respond to defend yourself. You just let it pass.
Interesting. Okay, what's the second outcome?
Second, an argument doesn't need to be won.
Because you're not even playing the game.
Right. You're not a participant. If you classify the basis of the argument or the aggressive tone as just noise, you effectively withdraw from the conflict before it even starts. You save all that mental energy.
That makes sense. And the third one. This feels like the big one for inner peace.
It is. Criticism doesn't cause pain.
Because you've already labeled it as meaningless.
Meaningless noise, yes.
Yeah.
You've preemptively decided its lack of value to you. So the potential sting is neutralized before it can hit.
So bottom line, you save energy, you protect your peace, and you stay in control. You choose what gets into your world.
That's the core of it. You become the gatekeeper of your own emotional state. The power shifts from the external source back to you.
That's quite a powerful idea.
It really is. And maybe a final thought for you to consider, building on this. If we accept Vaiphei's premise that we really can choose what we let into our minds,
Yeah.
what other kinds of noise are we maybe constantly listening to? Things like, I don't know, the endless social media comparison game, or maybe harsh self-criticism.
Things we could potentially just reclassify.
Exactly. Things we could consciously decide to label as irrelevant, static, and just tune out. What else are we letting land that we don't have to?